It seems as though you have clicked on this video. By doing so, you have condemned your soul to an eternal torment swirling in an endless abyss. You can save yourself though. Bring me some delicious human flesh for me to consume, and I will spare your lives. Or you can simply subscribe to the Real Life Ryan YouTube channel and have consistent Berserk, manga, anime, and whatever else content uploaded to your YouTube feeds. Also, if you pick the second option, you will be statistically about 17% more handsome by the end of the week. True story. Now, Berserk has come a long way since 1989 when it began, and though it still isn't finished, we do have a new chapter dropping this month. But in this video, we're going to go back all the way to the beginning and talk about the very first apostle that we are introduced to in the manga. Well, okay, not the very first, but at least the primary antagonist of the very first chapter called the Black Swordsman. This is back when the Berserk chapters were much longer and before they began being properly numbered, so this isn't chapter 1, it's chapter A. Just go with it. The Snake Baron is a character who does not have a proper name, at least not one that we're aware of, but a Baron is a title that refers to some sort of status of nobility or honor, but most likely this is a title that he bestowed upon himself. The translation seems to imply that the Snake Baron arrived in the town of Koka with his thugs and took it over by force. So he basically made himself the ruler of a small town that nobody cared about and used it as his own place to chill out, relax, and eat a bunch of humans, making a deal with the Lord Mayor that he would spare most of the town, assuming that the Lord would continue to bring him humans to eat. Humans that would be delivered in big cages, as well as the Baron's goons could pretty much run the town however they wanted. In fact, it is the Baron's men that we first see in the tavern torturing Puck when Guts is first seen unleashing the Dragon Slayer in the manga. So you could say that without the Snake Baron character, the entire story of Berserk couldn't have gotten started in the first place because this is where Guts met Puck. And regardless of how you feel about Puck's growth or lack thereof as a character, without his involvement we then would never have reached Elfhelm, where the story is currently taking place. So this singular event and the fact that this town was taken over in the very first chapter still holds an impact even today in the story, and I think that's a pretty impressive feat. But as for the Baron's character, he's as basic as they come. But I do like the idea that he just gathered up a bunch of human goons and took over a town. Every apostle does prove to act and operate differently, doing as they wilt but with demonic power. But the Baron is so generic as far as villains go that it's nearly impossible to guess anything about his former human existence, or what he could have possibly sacrificed to become an apostle. He seems to just like indulging in luxury, eating humans, and causing destruction. Story-wise, he accomplishes being the catalyst for Guts and Puck meeting, showing the audience what an apostle is, and of course giving Guts something to fight. But as a character, he is an evil guy doing evil things, and that's the extent of it. Even his appearance is pretty basic from what we see, which isn't a whole lot as he's mostly covered in shadow the entire time that we see him. His only defining feature seems to be that he keeps his teeth sharp even in his human form. This is because he also eats humans in his human form, which is interesting because not many of the apostles seem to do this. They usually transform before they begin devouring, but hey, I like how he changes things up. The thing that stands out most about the Snake Baron would be his armor and weapons. His armor and helmet resemble that of a cobra, and I can't help but wonder, did he have this armor before becoming an apostle, or was he just so stoked on his snake form that he decided to have some blacksmith make him some snake armor? So he could be a snake even when he wasn't a snake, but look like a snake to hide his non-snake form before he transformed into a snake form and have his snake self be revealed from his snake armor. Was he just super obsessed with snakes? Did he have a pet snake? Did he sacrifice a snake? You know, lots of people hate snakes. Maybe he thought it would be the scariest choice he could come up with. Do you guys like snakes?
That's cool, even snakes?
Well, you can't exclude an animal just because they're not cuddly. Of course I like snakes.
How about trouser snakes?
Ooh, what's a trouser snake?
Anyway, this motherfucker actually impales a child and drinks his blood, which again is Berserk opening its story by letting you know, hey, we're gonna get really dark here, are you ready for this journey? and he seems to be using a large battle axe of some sort, as it does him very well until he encounters Guts himself. Another cool thing here is that the Baron was already aware of the Black Swordsman when Guts arrives in the town, which shows that Guts has already cut down multiple apostles by this point in order to garner this reputation. When their battle begins, we see for the first time just how resilient an apostle can be, taking multiple arrow bolts and still not going down. It's not so shocking now, but when the series began, I imagine starting Berserk and not knowing the extent of what an apostle could do, that this really showed you what you were in store for. It's then when he decides to transform into full Snick.
Afraid to fight me yourself, you cowardly snake? A snake, am I? Perhaps you'd like to see how snake-like I can be.
A larger two-legged reptilian creature complete with a long tail and cobra face, with a nasty humanoid face embedded in its mouth with a long drooling tongue. And though we don't get long to see if he has any kind of extra features or abilities in this form, don't forget that he effectively beat the shit out of Guts for some time. It wasn't until he lifted Guts up to eat him that his face was blown off by Guts' arm cannon. But yeah, it would have been cool to know if the Snake Baron had any extra abilities, like maybe poison to go along with being a cobra. Also, I wonder if he could create pseudo-apostles. He did have a gang of human thugs that he ordered around, but they were still human. So he either didn't feel the need to turn them into pseudos since they already served him, or maybe he just lacked the ability. Regardless, the Snake Baron meets an excruciating demise, not just being blasted and then sliced in half by Guts, but also pelted with arrows as Guts tortures him and then left to burn in a slow, agonizing death, in which he does beg for his life the entire time. It's a fitting end considering how evil he was built up to be, but he's also the first one to show how ruthless Guts would be towards his enemies. So yes, though killed off quickly in the story, he's still not the guy you'd want to mess with. The enhanced strength, the durability, proficiency with the battle axe. He leads an army of goons, and when he's transformed, he's a gigantic snake that's extremely powerful, and still with potential abilities that we're not aware of. Guts does just about everything there is to kill an apostle. He uses a cannon, a sword, arrows, fire. The Snake Baron literally gets all of it. And honestly, it's a little Berserk. Anyways guys, if you like this video, let me know and tell me what you think down below about Berserk's first antagonist. Let me know in the comments. Also, if you are unaware, yes, there is a new chapter of Berserk coming out this month, January 22nd of this year, so get excited for that while we're at it. Thank you as always guys for watching these videos, I really do appreciate it. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and comment down below. And don't forget to look in the description of this video because I do have links to my social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and all that fun stuff. The Patreon too, if you want to help support the channel on that deeper level, that's the option that's there as well. So check all that out, and other than that guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time.